I'm making a recipe from my new Volume 5, Mama Sue and Her Boys. If you have already bought it, turn to page 69 and we're gonna make the Pecan Pie Cake. Before we make it, I wanna tell you something. This makes the 5th cookbook. And before we submit it, we have at least 4 people who go over it and check for mistakes. This time was no different. And this is one recipe that you need to listen to me, and I'll tell you why. In the recipe, it says the ingredients are 2 cups of chopped pecans, 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 4 eggs, 2 cups of brown sugar packed, a tablespoon of vanilla, and a teaspoon of salt. But in the directions, it tells you to add the oil. There was no ingredient for oil, so we had to go back and look, and it's 3/4 cup of oil. So in the ingredients, if you will add 3/4 cup of oil. This is an easy recipe, and this is one from my son Chris. And I'm gonna make it in my new Pyrex dish. Y'all love blue and white. I've had this a while, and it came in a pair. This is a 9 by 13, and this is a 5 by 7. This is gonna be a perfect size for me to make a casserole for Harold and me. But we're gonna use the 5 by 7, and I'm just gonna spray it with some oil. And I'm using Baker's Joy. We're gonna cut these in squares. Okay, let's get to the good recipe. It says preheat your oven to 350, and I have done that, and grease your 9 by 13. In a mixing bowl, add 4 eggs, y'all, vacation was so good. Harold and I rested. We really didn't do a lot of anything other than rest. And I met so many sweet followers. I think that's the most I've met at one time. I always seem to meet people when I'm out and about, but usually it's just a couple. But maybe it's because we were there for several days, and I enjoy meeting you. Okay, there's 4 eggs. Now to that, I'm going to put 2 cups of brown sugar packed. You see how packed that is. I'm going to add a tablespoon of vanilla. And I'm going to mix that, egg, sugar, and vanilla, and we're gonna mix it until it's foamy for about 2 minutes. So I will probably cut this off in just a minute and then come back when it's ready, because we don't need for you to watch me mix this for 2 minutes. Okay, I beat that for 2 minutes, and now the recipe says to add your oil, which is 3/4 cup, and salt, a 1/2 teaspoon, and I'm just going to throw that in there, and I'm going to just blend that in. Now in the ingredients, it said 1 cup and 1/4 of all-purpose flour. But down in the directions, it doesn't tell you when to add it. Now is the time to add 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Y'all, here's Scout I've already fed him, but he thinks when I start cooking, it's time again. Some of y'all have been messaging me, asking me how is Scout. He's hanging in there. He's still completely blind and deaf. He sleeps most of the day, but he's not in any pain. He goes back this week for some blood work. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is fold in 2 cups. This is my new Y'all Sweet Tea measuring cup, but it's 2 cups of pecans chopped, and y'all know I use Whaley's pecans. Any kind you like, you use, but I get mine from Whaley's and they ship really fast. They're here in Alabama, and I love them. Okay, now I'm going to pour this in my beautiful new Pyrex dish. Y'all, I will link it because I know that y'all all want to know where I get things, and I want you to know. So many of you have in the past said, where did you get that blouse? And most of the time I'd have to say thrift store. But all of them, the majority of my Pyrex dishes are just the clear white. And I thought these were so pretty to take places. And they're pretty for me too. But I'm going to bake this in my 350-degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes. And I'll let you know how long. The pecan pie cake cooked for 40 minutes. I checked it with a toothpick and it came out clean, but I have let it sit for 20 minutes. It's still warm. It says on the recipe that you can dust with powdered sugar if desired. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this pecan pie cake. It's still warm, so it may be going to. This is a little big. Would you give me a fork out of there, please? Y'all, this smells so good. One of Harold's favorite desserts is Alabama pecan bread that is in, I think, volume 1. I'm not sure. And this is very, very similar. If these were cool, it would be great. Okay. Now, can you see in there? Mm-hmm. Now what I'm going to do, because they said if you want to, you can sprinkle with powdered sugar. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little. But that is the pecan pie cake from volume 5. And remember, if you already have your volume 5, watch the whole video, because there were some things that were left out, even though I can't tell you how many times we went over those recipes. It just happens. But anyway, I'm going to let Harold have this piece when we get off, because he loves this. And if you don't have volume 5, you need to go to MamaSue'sSouthernKitchen.com and it will tell you how to order. There's several ways to order. And y'all, you're not going to be disappointed. Thank you, and remember to be salt and light.